It's recording. Oh, yeah. I had to delete my stuff. Oh, hold on. All right. So, want to thank everybody for joining the Understanding a Man podcast. And so, of course, my name is Elam B. King, and I am your host this evening, this morning, this afternoon, depending upon when and where you're joining from. Super excited about today's conversation. I got my homie with me right here. All right. And it's
Hey,
so funny. It's so funny because when, well, maybe like 4, 5 years ago, one or two different podcasts that I was gonna do with this person, and then COVID hit, and then we was just like, yeah, whatever. And so, super excited to have this guest on this evening. So much respect that I have for her. Such a beautiful woman, inside and out. I'm gonna let her kind of introduce herself a little bit in a second. But, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's been a little while since I've. It's been about 2, 3 months since I've done a podcast. Just been just busy and just not doing. But definitely want to jump back in here. This is the new year, 2024. And there's a couple of topics that people have just constantly been coming at me with. And so when I thought about this particular topic and I was having a conversation with her about this, I was like, you know what? I want to dive on in and kind of rekindle, not only rekindle the podcast that I've been doing, but then also just have some conversation this evening. So I want to say that, this person is just rocking and rolling out here. I'll let her share what her business is and all that. Then we're gonna dive on in. And I love this topic with this person because we're gonna get some real, okay, because she gonna speak her mind. Right? In the best capacity as possible. Hold on. I think my chair's a little low. Let me get my chair. Okay, bring my chair up a little bit. I think I went up like 1 inch. All right. So without further ado, I want to introduce. I call her D. All right, and so, but Miss Dedra Allen. All right. So when I'm thinking about this topic and just speaking with people, one of the major topics that I'm being led to talk about is regarding men approaching women, right? And how to do that, because I just keep hearing that men just don't know how to talk to women no more. And I think that we have to kind of peel that back. And I have my theory, all right, that I'm gonna talk about, all right. But before I do that and dive on in, I want to give D a chance. D, I want to give you a chance to just let people know who you are, where they can follow you, all that good stuff, and then we're gonna dive on in because this is we got some hot stuff to talk about. So
we
without
do.
further ado, Miss D Allen, what's going on?
Hey, Elam.
How are
So I
you?
am Dedra Allen. Some of you know me from WeTV's Cutting in the ATL.
Right,
But
right.
now I'm back in North Carolina and I've opened an assisted living facility. It's called
Hmm.
Jenny Mae's Residence Care.
Right, right, right.
And I am loving it and excited
Hmm.
about the change of career. And
Right.
yeah, that's what I'm doing.
And so you out there in North Carolina,
In North Carolina, where I was born and raised and
right?
ran. Yeah.
Now I'm loving your T-shirt real quick. So that's the minding my black business.
Minding my black owned business. Yes.
And where'd you get that from?
My auntie bought it for me.
Okay. So
Yeah,
what?
she
What?
bought it
Okay,
for
I was
me.
gonna say we need to promote her or whatever, or her
No, she didn't
business.
make it. She bought it for me, but she didn't
Mhm.
make it. But yeah, minding my black owned business, this
Okay.
business and my personal. Mine's my business, like a lot of
Okay.
people should.
See, here we go. We already starting. We already starting. And speaking of minding their business, D, sometimes somebody might happen to see you, in these streets, right? And so, yeah, they could be minding their own business, right? But they might see you, and you're attractive, right? And so, they want to approach you, right? And have some conversation and get to know you, right? So, and I'm being asked a lot regarding, men approaching women or whatever. But let me start off by asking you, so single, married?
I'm
Want to make
single,
sure people you're single.
single,
Okay, all right.
single as a
And
dollar bill by choice.
right. And so how's your dating life right now, D? How's your dating life?
So right now, I'm really busy getting this facility up and running. It's a 24-hour facility, so I'm working day and night. But I do manage occasionally to slide
Okay.
in, a day or two.
All right. And so, and you sliding in a date or two, let me ask you, how has your experience been with men approaching you? How does that, because what's been said to me, all right, is that men have a problem approaching women. So let me just start off by asking you, how has your experience been with men approaching you? What it sound like? What it look like?
I don't have any problems with men approaching me.
Mhm.
Like when I live in Atlanta, dating was really good for me.
Okay.
I don't have problems approaching men. I'm a friendly person. I'm have a approachable face.
Mm-hmm.
And if they
Come on,
approach
approachable
me,
face.
I
Yes.
mean, I'm not looking mad. Like I'm mad at the world. I'm angry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have a face that look like, okay, she's cool. I'm laughing, I'm smiling most of the time. So I have approachable face. I don't look like
Mm-hmm.
don't say nothing to me, like a
Mm.
lot of women that I see have.
Oh, and that's why I want to go there real quickly because okay, so you say you have an approachable face, right? And so
Mhm.
your situation has been, that guys are able to approach you. Do some of your peers sometimes not have an approachable face or what?
Well, not in my group, not
Mm-hmm.
my group of people don't, because I normally try to be in a group of like kind women.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
So
kind.
most of the people that I am with, we all are very friendly, approachable. We don't have those don't talk to me. But I see women when I'm out with those faces. So yeah.
Why do you think that some women have faces like that?
For me, I'm guessing that they're
Mm-hmm.
either angry, they're mad, they're upset, they have low self-esteem, low self-worth. I don't know. It's something. It's something negative as to why they have that face. It's nothing positive about it. It's something negative, most definitely.
And so, from what I've heard, right, and of course, you're not speaking for all women here, and just like I'm not
I
speaking for
can't.
all men,
Only the
and
pretty
I can't
ones.
speak, I can't speak for all men as well. So let's just go ahead and throw that out on the table because probably like I don't, So for some women that you might have heard of or might know of that might have that non. Why would a woman ever have a non-approachable face? And before you answer that, let me just share from what I've heard is that the reason why that would because sometimes they don't want to be bothered or they're they are they just don't want men to approach them and so that's what I've heard of why sometimes that resting bee face if you will that some might have, right? What are your thoughts in that regard of why sometimes women might have that face on?
Right now, I really don't know why a woman would have that face on, because every time I'm on Instagram, Facebook, women are always looking for advice as to how to get a man, how to not be
Hmm.
single, why do men act like this and why do men act like that. I don't know why any woman would have that resting right now. As
Right.
thirsty as they seem on these social apps to get in a
Come on,
relationship,
thirsty.
they should be
Uh-huh.
smiling all the time.
Is that fake to do something like that? Is that pick me? As you know, that's the new phrase out there. To pick me. Is that like you got to have like a pick me face on? I mean, why that pleasantry is something that you would advise versus the latter of I mean, of people just not looking like they're approachable.
Well, I once, after my divorce, I read a book one time, and
Hmm.
it said that when you have a certain look, or if you see somebody that you like, or if a man is approaching you and you turn away from them, a lot of times they won't approach you or say anything to you because that's saying to them, don't talk to me.
Okay.
So what I learned, if I am walking and I see an attractive gentleman, I'm going to look him in his face to let him know it's okay to approach me.
Okay. Hey,
Okay.
can okay, go ahead, go ahead. I want
And
to
even
ask, what does
if
the look
I,
look like? What does the look like, D? What does it look
they
like?
be kind of like,
Okay, so I'm walking in the room, right? I'm walking in the room, right? I'm like, hey, how you doing? So
it's,
it's the
I
look
mean,
up and
and I
down.
mean, I be looking like, you
Uh
know,
huh. Uh huh.
so
The
I be
the look,
looking.
the up and down look like you, that right there.
Yes, like,
Hmm.
like,
Mhm. And then what you
And,
look
and then
off
I
or something?
gotta laugh to go with it, you know.
Not the
You know,
not
I
the
got
laugh.
what? So
Uh-huh.
that's for me. If I see somebody that I'm interested in, I'm
Mhm.
going to let him know that it's okay to approach me.
Okay. All right. What have you heard? Have you heard anything out there regarding, women, just the topic at hand of just, some women are saying that men don't want to and I have my own theory again. I'm gonna jump into that at the end, right?
Okay.
But before we get into that, just your experience out here, and from whether it's your peer group or from what you're hearing, are you hearing something similar periodically that women are saying that men don't want to approach them, they're too scared or whatever? What's wrong with these men that's out here? Are you
I'm
hearing
not
anything like
hearing
that?
that, but I'm hearing that men aren't going on dates like they used to. So I'm not really hearing like they're not approaching them. I'm just hearing they're not being asked on dates. Like they're not getting any dates, as many dates. And now I can attest to
Mm,
that being in North Carolina. When
okay.
I was in Georgia, like I met somebody probably 5 times out of the week.
Okay.
But being in a smaller
Come on,
city, North
5 times.
Carolina,
Dang. Okay,
I'm
five
not
times.
meeting. Oh,
Come on, grocery store.
I would, no matter if I'm out somewhere, I'm going to meet somebody.
Hmm.
Somebody's going to talk to me. Somebody's going to ask me for my phone number. I'm going to meet somebody. Whether
Hmm.
I give my number out or I, see them again, I'm going to meet somebody. Always.
Okay. And so let's start. I want to park right there really quickly. You meet, let's just say 7 days a week. You meeting somebody 5 times out of the week. I'm going to assume that your dissemination of your personal information is based upon how they look, their level of interest, how they approach you. What is that? If you had to give a little feedback to the men of what would make you want to share your information, what does that look like?
Most of the time, I see them as well. So
Okay.
most of the time that a man approaches me, I've already seen him. I've already seen him.
Hmm.
I've already pictured in my mind, like, already. So by the time he approaches me, I'm already pretty much prepared to give him my number because I already
Okay.
saw him already. So that's how I play it. Like, oh, I see him, and come over and talk. If I happen not to see him and he come over, I'm looking at his aesthetics.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I want to see how his shoes is looking, how he has his
Not the
clothes on.
shoes. Okay. So the shoes and the watch thing is still real
The
for
watch
I
is
always
not the watch, but the
I thought
shoes.
I was about to say watches are gone now. They
Yeah,
don't they
because
don't
nobody don't in the watches, but the shoes. I want to make sure that his shoes are nice. They don't have to be name brand, but like they're not worn down. His smile, make sure he has nice teeth,
not worn down.
not worn down. Dressed, smell
Hmm.
good, and
Hmm.
I like really smart men. I like them to be smart.
The sapiosexual, what I hear, that's what it's called, sapiosexual.
I like them to be
Um,
smart. I like them too, like a little hood and smart too. That's even better.
okay. How okay, keep going, keep going, keep
Couple
going.
bullet wounds, cuts, it's good, you know.
Okay, so your bullet
But
wounds and you
smart.
smart. Okay.
Yeah, it's good. But normally when I have people approach me, like I said, I already have in my mind that I'm attracted to that person.
Mm-hmm.
That I am going to give that person my information. By the time a person approaches me, I already know like I'm interested in him. So when he comes up to me and starts talking to me, I know I'm going to give him my number.
Mm-hmm.
But if it happens to catch me and I don't really get to see him until he gets up on me,
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm looking him over and
Right.
deciding as he's talking, am I going to give him my number? If it's something that turns me off, maybe he said something that turned me off, and I'm like, he's not getting my number.
Do you
Um,
like do you like the go ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna ask, so do you get the lines like, I don't even know what lines
I don't
are,
either no
but
more.
okay, because old school be dropping lines, you know
Old
what I'm
school be
saying? Like,
dropping lines. They do. They do.
what's, hey, real quick, what's the best one that you've heard?
I I haven't heard one in so long.
Uh-huh.
So I remember
You,
something about the angels or something one time they was
the
dropping.
angels.
Something
What?
about it, heaven, something about the angels. So something they was dropping back. I remember I'm looking like, but I'll call them out. If they give them the line, be like, now that was corny, right?
Do you call him out like that?
Yes. Now,
Okay.
Elam, you've known me long enough to know
Yeah, I
that.
mean, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
And then I'll
Um,
laugh about it to make him feel comfortable. Like, now you know that was corny. And then I'll laugh, to make him
uh-huh.
feel comfortable,
Right.
like, and it plus it gives us something to talk about.
Right. Yes. Let's talk about your corny line that you just dropped, and
Yes,
can you
it really
try
is an
again?
icebreaker. I think some men do it for an icebreaker, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So you allow, even though it was corny, you allowed him to lead past that.
Yeah.
You give him a chance. Okay.
Yeah, that means
Now,
he's funny, especially if he keeps talking after I say that and he laughed, like, now you know that was corny. He laughed, then we can keep talking because now I know he has a sense of humor.
let's keep it 100. It does depend on how good and how attractive that you think that he looks is based upon how you will proceed forward in that conversation. Yes or yes?
No, I'm not one
Okay.
that just kind of I'm just
Okay.
not one to like dismiss a person. I'm just not
Okay.
that dismissive unless he's rude or disrespectful. But
Okay.
if he's not rude or disrespectful, I'm just not going to dismiss him because he's corny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you a nice little so how if it so he could not be attractive and you still would give him your information?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay. I was like,
I said I would still be talking to him. Like if we're out and we're
uh-huh.
talking at a bar or something, he comes up a little corny and we talking or he's not attractive, I'm gonna still talk to him. Like I'm not gonna try to get him away so the other men can come. That's not what I'm gonna do. If I want to
Right.
stand there and talk to him, you wait till your turn if you want to come up and talk to me. But I'm just not gonna dismiss him just trying to get him out my way.
Would you let him buy you a drink even though off the rip you see that he's not attractive?
Of course. Drink 4 or 5 if you buy them.
But is that right? You don't have any intention of sharing your information with this person, D. Is that really
Well,
right? Or
he has sat there and wasted 30 or 40 minutes of my time. I should get something. So I'm going to have some cocktails on him while he sits there and
okay.
wastes my time. It's an exchange. He's got my time and I got some free drinks. Now, that's on him if he want to stand up there and keep talking. If he keep buying, I'm gonna keep drinking.
Okay.
And if we eat some food, I'm gonna order some food.
So you're gonna order drinks, you're gonna order 4 drinks and food and have no intentions of talking to this
None,
man.
none. And I'm gonna say thank you so much. I've done it several times. Nobody's ever gotten
Is
mad
that
at me.
right to do that, D? Come on, man. You have no I get it. The guy is willing to be benevolent. Let's just really look at this for a second. Okay. The guy is he's offering to buy you drink and you're having a drink or whatever. But once we start going to 2, 3, 4 and appetizer, and probably within the first drink, in my opinion, most women know whether they're gonna talk to this person or not further outside of this setting, right? Is it right to really continue to have that conversation?
What
And
are the
he's
two
not
hot
conversation, except his payment for drinks and food and stuff like that. Is that right?
what are the two hottest commodities? Time and land.
You, kn-
Can I get
you,
my
you,
time back that I've sat there and talked to him for 30 minutes?
I
No,
say it all
sir.
the
I
time.
cannot. So I'm going to stand there and I'm going to drink them drinks. And we're going to talk about something. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to give him straightforward conversation. If he haven't
Mhm.
picked up by the second time he bought me a drink and he's not getting my number, then he needs a little bit more practice.
How you gonna pick up whether or not you're gonna give him his number
Because
or not?
I'm giving general conversation. We're talking about general stuff.
Okay.
If I am attracted to a man, he
Okay.
knows I'm attracted to him.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Because let's go to the. We're gonna go baseline. We're gonna go baseline, right? Because I think that there is a portion of this that we're talking about that some people don't know. I'm gonna say for myself, I have always had a challenge of whether or not somebody's being friendly versus somebody is interested in me, right? And I see what you're talking about with the look and all this and that. I mean, if you keep doing all that, then yeah, I know that. If you keep doing all that, but maybe you're not doing that. So there's been times when it doesn't happen often, but I might have thought you wanted to do, and then you didn't, and then or maybe you wasn't feeling me and you were feeling me. I've had people come back to me and be like, "Yo, I wanted to talk to you with such and such." You didn't. I'm just like, "No, I didn't know that."
I
Right?
agree because I've had that even people that I've dated, they was like, "Oh, you were flirting," because people men that I've dated in the past say I have a flirting energy, but it's really a friendly energy, and I don't like the person. But for me, I feel like if I like you and I want to give you my number and I want you to take me out, you're going to know that.
When you say you're going to know that, what is that?
I don't
What
know.
it
It's just something I got. I got that.
mm-mm.
It's just some energy I got. They be like, okay, and
Is it
they'll
that you're gonna inquire into, what is he doing later on in the week? Is it that you're
no,
what is the sign that you are into? And I'm gonna pause after you answer this question. I gotta go into my theory on this before we close out or whatever. But what is the signal besides the okay, you did it, okay, the little eye thing. Okay, we missed that little eye thing. All right. What is the sign that you would say that you give to let somebody know that you are interested besides the little eye thing? The eye
I'm
thing don't be working. Mm-hmm.
You right. When
Mm-hmm.
I think about it, like some people have taken the friendliness as that I want like to date them, and I don't.
Okay, right.
I
And you're 2, 3 drinks in and appetizer in, eating and drinking. Okay, so I'm like, she's
But
doing
Elam,
all.
at the end of the
Mhm.
day, you wait. You have sat there, and that young lady has given you conversation for 30 minutes. So if you're a gentleman, you buying her some drinks, and she has sat there and stand there and talked to you. Because sometimes you could be somewhere. I mean, I could be at the bar sometimes and I'm talking and the conversation is interesting. I'm enjoying the conversation. Okay.
Mhm.
So if I'm standing there talking to you for 30 minutes, you got my attention. I'm
I was
literally
gonna say,
sitting there
sound like
talking
you
to
like me, but go ahead.
you,
You know.
and you buy me drinks, I'm gonna drink the drinks. And when you ask me for my number, I'm like, well, I'm not really, I don't I don't want to date. I don't want to go out with you. I don't,
Okay.
I,
So again, that's getting back to the question here is, so how am I supposed to know beyond you're sitting there saying,
when
so
you
what
ask
you
me for
told
my
me,
number and I'm gonna say
what
no, you gonna know.
so what you've more told me is how we probably won't know. And I'm not trying to put words in your
Yeah,
mouth, but
I said it
you're
like
drinking
that.
you drink my drinks, that don't mean you like me. You
That don't
eat
mean
the
I
food
like
I'm buying, it don't mean you like me.
you.
I might miss the look up and down so how am I supposed to know, and at this point, to even ask you for your information if I'm listening to what you're
So you
saying? Right?
just
How am I?
ask, and I'm gonna either say yes or no. So let me say this. It's just
Okay.
like when they say no is no.
Okay.
So if you go on a date with a woman and y'all get back, she lets you kiss or whatever, and then she says no.
Mm-mm,
No
she
is
let you
no.
kiss her.
No is no. Regardless
Okay.
of how far y'all get into it, no is no.
Okay.
So it's the same situation if you're at the bar and you're drinking and I decide I don't want to take that no farther. No, it's no. Why are you getting upset? Because I'm saying no. You had the choice of not buying the drinks. That's your right. So no is no, and you should not get upset.
But shouldn't you have not continued to consume these drinks and this food
So
when
that's
you
just
had
like
no intentions of talking to me?
if I bring someone back to my home and I bring them back and they think something that's going to happen and they take advantage. And I said no. And they said, well, you shouldn't have brought him back to your home if you weren't going to do it. That's not fair to say. So it's the same situation. You stand there, you continue to buy me drinks, and I say no, that not going to give you my number. Then why are you angry? No is
But
no.
why did you okay.
Because I wanted the drinks.
Oh my
Food.
God. But
God,
is that
like
but you don't see anything, but we're not going to go to the I don't want to go, I don't want this to dip off into the go back to the house thing. We're going to keep it at we just met, right? So you think it's okay for a woman to consume drinks and food when in your mind you're like, hell no, I'm not going to talk to this person.
I don't want a romantic relationship. It may be a networking opportunity. Like me and him is talking, I realize we're in the same industry, okay? And then we
Okay,
get into
okay.
an interesting conversation
Okay,
and we're drinking drinks. But I'm like, I'm not
okay.
attracted to him, but I like his conversation. It's a good networking opportunity. If he decides to keep buying me drinks and he clearly hears me talking about business,
So this is where I want to just roll over into the
But
conversation
look,
here
am I
because
supposed to stop and say, "Oh, by the way, I don't like you, but I do like this conversation we're having. So do you want to keep buying me drinks or you want to stop? Like, let me know because I do
yes,
like the conversation."
yes, yes,
Boy, bye.
yeah. Why? What's wrong with that? Letting
It's
them know
nothing
whether
wrong with it, but
you're
I'm not
giving
going
him,
to do it.
huh?
It's nothing wrong with it, but I'm not going to do it. It's absolutely nothing wrong. I'm going to drink your drinks and I'm going to eat your food while we're talking. And if I decide I want to give you my number, I am. If I'm not, I'm not. Point blank,
But you've
period.
already in by drink one, most of the time you've already figured out whether this is somebody that you want to talk to or not anyway,
Most of the
right?
time.
Well, okay, you're yeah, a women normally y'all gonna know, but this is and see, this is where I want to transition the conversation. And I don't think that you and I have had too many conversations in this regard, but see, here's the thing. I don't want to be that guy. And let me share with you why I don't want to be
What
that
guy
guy.
is that? What guy are you saying that
I
is?
don't
What guy?
I don't I don't want to because I have a lot of female friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Such as yourself, to whereas we connect on that friendship level, just laughing, joking, talking about a myriad of different topics, right? And so I don't think you and I have had this conversation before, but I know that I've had this conversation with other women to whereas okay, you just got them 4 drinks, you just two drinks, whatever, you just
Got
got
that
that appetizer.
calamari. Go ahead.
Huh? Yeah, you got the calamari, right? And then
Calamari.
when you come home, you're gonna call your boy Elam, right? And be like, Elam, or let's just say we talking 2, 3 days later, whatever, and I'm just like, hey, so how you been? And, blah blah. And he's like, Elam, let me tell you about this guy on Friday. Let me tell you, boy, he came up to me. He had these shoes on. He was looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Shoes was looking like this or whatever. Or he got to talking and his mouth looked like this, or his face was looking like this or whatever. And now you're sitting here dissing him
Mm-hmm.
and talking in a manner about him that is not good, right? Meanwhile, you're telling me about the drinks that you've had, you're telling me about the food that you ate, and you're telling him, and you're actually saying how you politely let him go. We're not even talking about the people who are rude and mean and nasty. That's a whole nother conversation, right? Because we have the people who do that too, right? Of just like diss the person and take their drinks or whatever case of being, keep it moving. But and I'm talking about that woman that does that, right? But if I'm on the phone listening to you share about how basically this guy played himself. And so what that says to me, right? And I was having this conversation last week when I was at, an event that I had, Are We Ready Yet game night that I had down in Tallahassee. And so I started having this conversation. There was a gentleman, my man, Chris. We had just met, and I started having the conversation with 2 other ladies, and he was just like, yo, he totally agreed with me. And we were just like, I don't want to be that guy that I'm the one you're talking about to your friends of how I approached you and how you played me. So what I'm going to do is the next time that I go out, I'm going to be thinking to myself, it could be some anxiety. There could be some apprehension of, I don't want to approach this woman here because I know what can happen of how I don't of how there is a benevolence that a man can bring forward, and you could just totally just have no intentions of him, and I just spent all this money, and now you're just like, and you diss me.
So that
I don't want to be that guy. So because I don't want to be that guy, that's the reason why sometimes that I have an apprehension, or that people have an apprehension of wanting to approach somebody. What are your thoughts there?
okay. So I have never like a man has never bought me drinks like that. And in the end, was like, I can't believe you didn't give me your number. I can't. That's never happened
Mm-hmm.
because you've known me now for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and I have great conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I'm talking to people, I have really great
Agreed.
conversation. I'm
Agreed.
really engaged when I'm talking to somebody. Pleasantries. So sometimes I do believe those men know that I'm not attracted to them. They're not going to get my number, but they don't want to walk away because they're enjoying the conversation.
Right.
That's
Right.
my
Right.
so yeah. I feel like after a couple drinks, they know that she's probably not going to give me her number. Okay, but they enjoy the conversation. Like I'm a conversationalist.
You
I
are.
out, I'm talking, I'm engaged, I'm learning about them. Like we're talking, and some people, some men, they don't get that conversation. They haven't had a good conversation with a female. a
Right.
pretty female, one is smelling good. Like she's really engaged in everything you're talking about.
Hmm.
Okay, so they feel comfortable, and then some of them are like, okay, then it was nice meeting you, and some of them are just don't even ask for my number, just walk off. Maybe they realize that we're not a match or whatever, and they just like,
Hmm.
okay. And some of them we exchange numbers in a networking capacity.
Okay, so I get the networking aspect of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because yes, you can engage in a conversation with somebody, be like, "Yo, this might be somebody I need to connect with."
Mm-hmm.
Our energies are vibing. There's a synergy that can exist, maybe from a business perspective. So I do get that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we're just talking about more on the intimate space, right?
That's what I'm
Um,
saying. A lot of times they come up to me thinking that they're gonna trying to shoot their shot.
mm-hmm,
And why they trying to shoot their shot? What you drinking? I'm telling them what I'm drinking. Okay.
mm-hmm,
Give her what she drinking. Okay. And we get to
mm-hmm,
talking. And I'm
mm-hmm.
smiling. All right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all
And
right.
then, oh, are you
Oh,
three
you're not
calls?
getting my number.
th- Huh?
And
Three
so for the
drinks
longer
in,
he sit there and talk to me, if he sit there and talk to me longer, you want another one? Yes, I do.
and that's okay
That's
to do
okay.
that.
Yes. But I'm not the
Okay.
type of woman that calls my friends. I'm gonna say, hey, I met this guy. He bought me 4 drinks. I didn't give him my number. He was a buster. That's not even my personality. I don't do
Right.
anything like that. Like I'm not
Right.
calling my friends out and talk about how I drank 4 drinks off a man. I just don't do that. And
Right.
you've known me long enough. I've never called you and said any
You
type
haven't.
of
You have
negative
not.
foolishness like that. For
You have
me,
not.
I think any woman that criticizes a man on how he approached her, he's just not for her. That's not her guy. Okay. But
Okay.
some woman is going to like that way that he approaches her. Okay.
Okay.
So for me, if a guy approaches me the wrong way, he's just not my guy. I don't
Right.
think he's corny. I don't think he's lame for doing that. He's just not my
Mhm.
guy because somebody likes that pickup. Somebody likes his energy, and I'd rather for him to be authentically himself than come up to me and he not be who he is. So for me, I mean, however he come up to how he is. If you are a corny man and you give corny jokes, come up to me with that corny joke.
Okay.
Because I want to know the authentic person. I don't want you faking and trying to be something you're not.
Right.
You know?
Let me add in really quickly on that fake aspect of it, and then we'll close out in a second. When guys try to come up and they try to flex what they got, right? Money wise or materialistic wise or whatever. How do you feel when guys do stuff like that? Because I know I hear that men do that at times as well.
Um, it hasn't happened to me a lot.
Okay.
On the rare occasions that it does happen, most likely they do have that. They have
Mm.
what they say they got, and then I'm going to get some of that.
Oh my. Oh my God. So
So if
you're
you
saying
come
that guys
up,
should
yeah,
flex what they got?
you come up and you flex and you got it, then I'm going to be trying to find out, do he? Then I'm going to Google, like, let me see who he is. Oh, he really got it. Oh, he really got it. Okay. So if you coming up and flex that you got it, then I'm going to get this. This is what you want to do.
This is going to be a great series that I'm about to do, y'all. And I think that and I appreciate first of all your responses tonight. I really goal is to want to kind of dive a little bit more into just the approach. I think that whether it's
But
COVID, whether
I don't think y'all approach is bad. I don't think the men approach is bad.
hmm
I think that it's just time. We've all evolved. We're all different now. Everybody's
hmm
trying to figure out how can I get this? How can I get that? You know, but you got to be authentic. You got to be an authentic person. Okay. And women now, some of them are real thirsty to get somebody, some of them are not real thirsty to get anybody.
right,
Okay. Some women just, that's their whole conversation, just drives me up the wall. It's getting a
right,
man. Okay. And some of us are business women and that's not our focus. Yes, we would like to have a nice partner, but if we don't, we're okay with that too.
okay,
But just being so thirsty and just focusing on it. And I think it's kind of lame for a woman to go back and talk about how a man tried to pick her up and his pickup line. I think that's kind of
mm,
lame. And at a
mm,
certain age, I think it's immature too.
right,
That's just that wasn't your guy. If he spoke
okay,
to you or came up to you in a way that if he had corny jokes, he was funny, or he just kind of, he was ghetto, whatever, however hood, whatever, he's just not your
mm,
guy. Doesn't
mm,
make him a bad guy. Doesn't make him lame. Doesn't make him corny. Somebody likes that. You just
Somebody
don't.
like that, yeah. Well,
Okay,
I
and if you
always say
don't
that.
like it, you can cut the conversation off quick and let them go about their business, or you can be like me and just laugh and talk and drink and eat for free.
And gentlemen, you gotta watch just keeping on buying them
Oh,
drinks
honey,
and that
Elam,
food.
if they meet me in the streets, they're going to buy the drinks and they're going to buy the food. I already know
Mhm.
that. Even after looking at this video, because I'm a talker. You enjoy my conversation. People
I
enjoy
think you're a
me.
great conversationalist. I
They
mean, you have a
do. They
beautiful
have
personality.
fun around me. They
Mhm.
laugh. So most men who buy the drinks, they're okay because they have had a great time. We have
Mhm.
fun.
Right.
But if you're sitting there drinking somebody drinks like, yeah, you wrong for that. Now
Yeah.
you've let him go about his business. But laugh and talk and drink them drinks and eat that food.
Oh my god. I'm totally against all of that, y'all. I'm totally against all of that. But I get what I'm gonna give you a moment of the analogy of time and
Hmm.
say that yes, time and land are two things that there's never going to be any more of, right? And
Exactly.
so that's why I'm so big on people not wasting my time or whatever.
Wasting my time.
Yeah. But if you're going to engage in conversation, I don't know, it's giving
It's giving way. It's
it's
giving
giving
way.
I'm buying your time for the moment. You know what I'm saying? And I
Well,
but
I
I
mean,
get it. I get what you're saying. I'm gonna be I'm not with that because
so you're
at
going to
some
sit there and talk to a woman at a bar for 30 minutes and not offer to buy her a drink?
no, you might get one drink. You're not going. We're not going 2-3 in calamari. Like I'm going to shoot a shot to see whether I'm even somewhere in there. I'm going somewhere in between drink one and maybe two. I don't even think we'll get to two personally. But I'm gonna try to slide in to see am I in the running for this
Man,
moment
I done
because
brought Elam. I done met people. I done brought friends along,
if
and they bought all of our drinks, and we still walked away. Bill
yeah,
three, four,
and
five
I
hundred.
and this goes back to the point where I don't want to be that guy.
But
I
it's not
don't
a
want to
bad.
be
It's
that
not
guy.
a bad thing.
It's a horrible thing, and I want to be very clear with that. It's a very horrible thing. I'm buying drinks for you and your girls, and I don't even get no number. Walk away,
But they
nah, bro.
enjoying our company. Me and my crew is fun. The next time I'm in Atlanta, you're gonna have to hang out with me and my crew. You're gonna be like, you know what?
Yeah,
Y'all
but
have
the
fun.
difference is you my dog. So if I was with you and some other people, yeah, that's one thing,
Or
right?
you
But
might
I'm
meet
not.
somebody in my crew, and then she don't give you her number, but you're gonna like, I really liked hanging out with her. She was so much fun.
It's like I'm not going to do that. Okay, I don't. That's not. I don't want to be that guy. I'm
I
not going to
get
be
it
the
though.
guy.
I get it. It
I'm not.
can, it can ruin a man's self-esteem to hear things like
My
he's
self
corny.
esteem is amazing. I'm not going to be
I'm
that
saying
guy.
some men that,
Mhm.
when a woman comes back and say these things, but I just feel like even if somebody comes back and say you're corny or come back and say you lame, still be who you are because you're
Right.
authentic to who you are. Because
Right.
somebody is going to like that lame, somebody's going to like that corny. And if you allow what somebody else had to say about you to change how you approach somebody, you're fake anyway.
You almost kind of did it just then, but I want to kind of highlight it and let us go. Just go ahead and close out really quickly. If you had to give some encouragement to, I guess, the antithesis of what I was saying of how a guy, we don't want to be that guy, right? If you had to give some encouragement to men of approaching a woman, what would that be? You almost kind of did it just then, but I want to wrap it inside of the moment.
So intentions. If you have intentions of trying to go out and actually meet somebody for the purpose of probably dating, then just be your authentic self. If you give corny jokes, give a corny joke. If you like to give up pickup lines, do it. Okay. If you're
Okay.
going for the intention of smashing, do whatever you can to get what you're trying to get. And
Right.
if you fall for the foolishness, then hey, enjoy.
That's just what it gotta be.
But do not allow what people have to say about you to keep you from being your authentic self because there's some woman out there who likes
Hmm.
that corniness, who likes you acting lame, who likes them ran over shoes. So it's somebody out there that likes that.
Not the
It
shoes.
is. So be you. Don't let somebody change you.
Hmm.
And sometimes men be like, oh, my pride. Man, you were out your league anyway. So you didn't approach her. You knew you was out your league, and then some of them approaching me. They know they out they league, so I just laugh and talk with them. I didn't have them approach me like this. I'm like,
Oh, that's. I think that's gonna be the topic for the next episode of approaching women out of their league.
out of
Oh
their
my
league,
God,
and you are.
that's gonna be. I think that's gonna be the next topic. You have just led into approach. How do you even know that you're approaching women? We can't go
Look,
into it. All right, because
excuse me, sir. I
and
am
you
out
gonna
your
have
league.
on them 5 6 inch heels, so they gotta make sure they got some height with them
They
with
got to
you.
make sure because I cannot be looking down at nobody.
Uh-huh.
Out your league, and I'm not. When I say out your league, I'm not talking about intelligence or money
I,
wise.
I
I'm
know, I
saying
know.
like now you know
We will
I
go
am
off
too
into
small for
another
you.
hour.
get
Oh
get
my
from around
God.
here.
Miss Dedra Allen, let folks know. Thank you so much. Just I want to take a moment. Let folks know how can they follow you and or get in contact with you or even from a business perspective. Anything you want to share at this point. This is your commercial break, and let folks know how they can get in contact with
So
you.
I am single.
Uh-oh, come on, come on.
You can reach me business. You can reach me on most of the platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Just put in Dedra Allen. All right.
Hmm.
I have a facility in North Carolina. If you have a elderly parent who's looking for a long-term care solution, you can
Hmm.
reach me at Dedra at JeannieMaysResidenceCare.com.
Right,
You can always book tours to come inside of North Carolina and book a tour and look over the facility. We
right.
are a private paid facility.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, but Google Dedra Allen.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Boom, there you go.
And watch how many drinks you purchase, gentlemen.
No,
Okay.
we gonna drink until we get tired of talking. That's what's gonna happen. We're gonna drink until we get
Oh
tired
my
of
God.
talking. So one of us gonna
I
keep talking. That's what's gonna happen.
I oh my God.
You know,
Yo,
I've
listen.
had one come up and buy me a drink while another one was talking. I'd be like, okay, well, yes,
Oh, that sounds competitive. That's a that sounds like a
that's some
fight.
Atlanta stuff.
Yeah, it really is. Thank you so much, Deej, for joining Miss Dedra Allen.
Thank
Such a
you.
beautiful spirit. I've grown to absolutely love this
Same
person
here.
over the past couple of years. And I got a couple of people that I will bounce ideas off of, and I will take certain aspects of information that's shared. And so this is definitely one breath. I'll be like, girl, hold on. You know what I'm saying? And she'd be
As
like,
soon as
yeah,
you
man.
saw me hit that, you called me like,
I know, right?
I'm like, even let them people be who they are.
Right. We all over social media, but thank you so much for joining. You guys, this is the Understanding a Man podcast. And again, thank you so much for joining. I think we've already kind of given a precursor into the next episode of folks dating outside their league. I want to tackle this dating area, y'all, because there's just so many aspects that we just need to grow through that. So we're going to talk through that. Of course,
And
you can
there's no
follow.
villain, Elam. There's no villain. No man is a villain, no woman is a villain.
No,
So we just
they're,
stop
they're, they're
everybody
not.
trying to villainize everybody.
Nah, and
We're all
even
just
in
trying
this.
to figure it out.
Yeah, and even in this conversation, definitely don't want to do that. I just want to expose certain aspects of things inside of the dating space because I keep getting asked the question, right?
Mhm,
Why don't some men approach and what's wrong with men talking? So we're gonna continue to evolve the conversation. Of
mhm.
course, you can follow myself on all platforms, Elam B King. You can also go over to elambking.com. And if you haven't purchased, hold on, what's that? Your Are
I
We
got
Ready Yet
mine.
game, huh?
I got mine.
Yeah, you got it. And I appreciate your support so much. You got to have your Are We Ready Yet game. You can go to the arewereadyyetgame.com to purchase that. And it's a little fun for you and your significant other and some groups as well. But we'll talk about that in the near future. D, thank you so much for joining. And I think we're going to have you back on a part two of this, part three or four, because we got to get these folks right in the dating area. But we're going to figure
You
it out.
trying. You really helps me sometimes when I call and I don't be talking about how they look, but you get me on the right track because you know I can go there. So you help me get me on the right track. Like, okay, yeah, I did too much.
Hey, iron sharpens iron, so that's the way it is. So thank you so much.
Mhm.